Welcome back, YouTube, to another episode here at WILDMAN Lives. I'm your host, WILDMAN. Now on today's episode, I did a chest workout earlier in the backyard, and I was using a couple of specialty barbells. Now, if you don't know what a specialty barbell is, you're in luck, because that's what this video is about. So let's pop into today's workout, and as I'm doing that, I'm also going to explain the difference between some specialty barbells and regular barbells themselves. So for today's workout, here's an example of a type of specialty bar. It's a curved barbell, which is called a buffalo barbell. That's the specific model of this one. And basically, due to its curved nature, you're getting about a 3-inch deficit before it touches your chest, and the bar wiggles because of its curved nature, making the chest have to stimulate a lot more. And due to its depth, you're getting a lot more range of motion. Now, as I'm going up in weight on the buffalo bar, I'm going to keep the weight the same on the sled, but I'm going to be doing an explosive Y pull. Basically, I'm going to pull that sled as explosively as I can, but I'm going to bring my hands back into the shape of a Y, hence why it's called a Y pull. And then I'm going to flip it around, and I'm going to do some chest flies with the sled on the way back. And the idea is to get some explosiveness in there. So I alternate my footing on each rep, but basically once it gets tight at the bottom of the chest position, then I use my chest to explode forward. Really helps with barbell movements. That's going to be today's strength giant set. Now, the reason why specialty barbells are sometimes better to use than just regular barbells is for a couple of reasons. So we're going to go over that right now. The first is if you're always using a barbell, you can kind of plateau or risk injury because you're always using the same implement over and over again. When you're using a specialty barbell, which is something other than a barbell, anything at all, but is mimicking the same movements as a barbell, you're able to change the stimulus just slightly. And due to that, because your hands are going to be placed differently and because your body has to acclimate to the different shape of the barbell, that makes you a whole lot more stronger. The second reason is if you're experiencing some kind of injury or you're feeling like your muscles are getting a little fatigued from using the barbell over and over again, having a specialty barbell, because it places your hands different and a different stimulus on whatever it is you're working out, it actually might be able to bypass that injury and work a different muscle instead. And third, because you are putting your hands in a different position or you're stimulating different muscles within the same plane, you can actually lift heavier a little bit longer and not have to dial it back or work up again and weight on a regular barbell that you would continuously have to use and abuse. The fourth reason is if you use a barbell, it may not carry over into functional strength on the outside of the gym. However, if you're using a specialty bar, then you're using different kind of muscles which you carry into the real world in real raw strength. And the last reason is kind of why I'm doing it today, which is basically, I just don't want to keep using a barbell over and over again. You get kind of sick of it and you don't want to end up going to the gym and you can lose motivation. But using these specialty barbells keeps me motivated to go to the gym more frequently and more often. These are the reasons why, if you're looking at a specialty barbell, it might be worth the price, especially when there's a good deal on, and then you can get all the benefits that I've just listed. Now, this is going to be a big deal because this is my top set. It wasn't going to be my top set. I debated about working up to a 1 working rep max and then backing it down for volume, but I kind of felt I haven't done 275 on the buffalo bar for reps. So the goal was to hit 5, and I'd be extremely happy with 5. And if I could do 6, then that would be even better. And here, I got to 6. It went nice and slow, which meant it was time to put it back. So I was very ecstatic about that because 6 is usually the highest number I'll go on a top set. And since it went and it was so smooth, I couldn't be happier with the result. Now for the variation giant set, I was doing 3 rounds and I was using a different kind of specialty barbell, which is going to be called the multi-grip or a football bar. And I'm doing it at an incline to kind of change the angle. But this brings your hands in a neutral position, which carries over a lot into logs, which is why I like to use it. But another reason why I like to do it is for all the reasons that I mentioned before, because this is changing the stimulus of the lift and it's something different. So my body has to adapt and acclimate since I haven't pulled this out in like over a year. This is something that I got to get used to again. Hence why I'm only doing 225 for 6 reps. I don't want to go any higher because I just kind of want to get used to it all over again like I was on the buffalo barbell. And I continued to keep it in the same format as the strength giant set by doing those Y pulls on the sled and doing the chest pullers, flies, whatever those things are on the way back. Just to kind of keep it in the same format, make it easy. Sled's already out here, might as well. Now for the assistance giant set, I was doing 3 rounds. And now I'm doing what's called a strongman pull. This is common in strongman. Usually with boats, you're pulling a boat out of a dock or you're pulling like a wagon or something like that. But what I'm doing it's very lightweight and I'm just trying to hit the obliques and work the back in a different way. And then I would just backwards drag it across the bullpen right to where it started, which is also a pretty decent strongman movement as well. And then I was doing some tricep push-ups. Basically, I'm elevated, so I'm hitting on a decline position. My hands are closer together in a diamond shape, and I'm trying to bring like my chest down to it. This kind of hits the inner part of the chest, but it really blows up your triceps a lot more, so you're getting the best of both worlds. Now for the accessory giant set, I was only doing one round, but what I was going to do was a lot of reps for one movement until I felt a really big burn. So the first one's going to be horizontal tricep extensions, just to kind of really hit the triceps in a different way. Then I'd move over into the banded chest fly because I just did a lot of chest movement. So this isn't very heavy because my back is to the rig. So now I'm just trying to pump a lot of blood into that with all this heavy volume work. And face pulls, which, I love face pulls. It really keeps my shoulders healthy, especially after a chest day. So if you're not doing face pulls, please do them because they are the best thing for your shoulders, and your shoulders will thank you later. All right, so that's going to conclude it for today's workout and today's episode. Really appreciate everybody stopping by and hope that you all learned something new. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.